Councillors, the time being 6:30, I declare the meeting open. Recordings of a council meeting, just a note. Persons in the gallery advise that under the Local Government Act 1993, a person may not tape record the proceeding of a meeting of council or committee without the authority of the council or committee. Tape recording includes a video camera and an electronic device capable of recording speech. Mobile phones must be turned off so as not to disrupt the meeting. Anyone, including councillors, found using a mobile phone will be told to leave the meeting immediately and for the duration of the said meeting. An audio recording of this meeting will be taken for minute-taking purposes as authorised by the Local Government Act. This meeting is live streamed on Council's website to allow the community to follow Council debates and decisions without the need to attend meetings in person. Members of the public attending or speaking at a meeting agree to have their image, voice and personal information, including name and address, recorded and publicly broadcast. Stratford Council does not accept liability for any defamatory remarks or inappropriate comments that are made during the course of a meeting. Any part of the meeting that is held in closed session will not be streamed. If they can all be upstanding. We hope that our deliberations today will be objective and decisions are impartial, made for the benefit of the whole community. And then the recognition of traditional custodians. Let us begin by acknowledging the Wangal people, the traditional custodians of the land on which this meeting is being held. We pay respects to elders, past and present. Thank you, councillors. Is there any apologies, councillors?
No.
No apologies. I'll move on to open forum. We have one speaker, Dr. Hari Kapila. And if you can just approach the end of the table, Doctor, and just state your name and address for the council. Yeah, just say it's fine.
Sorry, my apologies, I'm just a last one. My name is Hari Kapila. I've been living in this council for 44 years, and I was involved in two things before, and I was the first mission who started the library in English about a quarter century ago, and I was involved in the fundraising and things like that. And the council kindly invited me, gave me this medal about quarter century ago, and so 25 years ago I came to this place to get this medal, and 25 years later I come here again. Nice to see you guys. Now, Mr. Mayor and Councillors, thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my views about the Safe Covert logo. There are a lot of logos came up, and all logos are different, and none of the logos had a cross in it, because cross always indicates a medical thing, right? And I designed this when I was in lockdown about 3 years ago, and it was red and white color. But then somebody told me you can't use red and white color because it only can use it in war. So if you write to the Geneva people, if they allow you, they can use it. So I wrote to the Geneva people. And they were surprised they replied me within 2 weeks. They said it's a very good idea, but unfortunately we cannot allow you this because it can only be used during the war. I said, okay, well, we are in war against the invisible enemy at the moment. And then they wrote me back again. They said, if your defense minister allow you to do that, we will allow it. So I wrote to the defense minister here now in Australia. And this was a very pleasant surprise, and I within weeks exactly to that.
It's the defense
I'm just a dog for this spare my apology as such, in the talk technology to speak with. And she technically said this is a good idea, but if you could use different colors, it'd be very good. So I said, well, that's fine. So I used Australian color, green and gold color. I used the cross. Then I used the map of Australia. I didn't forget the penny also. Then put the green wings to respect our as well as all those people, because 2 reasons. One, we have to recognize them, which is kindly recognized. Secondly, that we are like blue wings. We will bounce back from whatever is going through. That's the purpose we are using it. And all other things come with it. So I've seen so many logos with the health department everywhere, but they know one uniform thing. There's the only uniform logo I could see in you Buy Australia. When you see that logo, you say, oh, that's why you Buy Australia. And now they have put tick mark over it as well. So I want you to have a logo which is uniform, and as when you look at it, that attracts your eye, Australian colors, reasoning are more with that, and I want special concept, the first, if not the country in the world, to utilize a logo which is uniform. And that's what I want to do, because when you look at this A3 size, 50 cents they cost to print it out, and you print it out, just pick it with color paper, and that's it. And I think every time you look at it, because if there's different logos, you get different impressions. Those people are psychologists, they realize the power of this looking at one thing again and again and go sort of factoring your subconscious level. Like McDonald's, there was only one app. All over the world, same McDonald's app, and you see that one and never forget. Same is Coca-Cola. There's only one time, everywhere, same color, same thing. And that subconscious level stays with you forever. That's the reason I designed this thing, so that if we can we will use in our all the offices and shops that we let us give it a trial and see if it's effective or not. Because it's only repetition, you remember things. So you're told once or twice, you tend to forget it. But when you see this every day, and there should be something which, as when you look at it, affects your eye, affects your attention. So that's the only that is right. I request you people think it can be useful to reduce the spread of COVID, because we have more than 9 million people in Australia with COVID. And even if 10% have we got long COVID, we got 1 million people with long COVID. This is something very simple which can prevent and reduce it. We are using about 7, 8 different kinds of vaccines. They have, but simple things are more effective. So that's the reason I designed this. It can be useful. Good. If another 1 in 9 people are work with COVID. So if we just by doing simple things, we can reduce the chances of having COVID, especially long COVID. And if 1 million people in Australia with long COVID, we can review clinics started in St. Hospital for long COVID. So if you all people think that it can be useful, it's not expensive. Anybody can. I'm not taking intellectual property with it, because I just want to share my experience of 54 years in medicine, out of which 40 years as a specialist. Only stopped operating last year because of COVID and hospital problems and things like that. But this does help, yeah. But I thought I want this my contribution to my society, which has given me so much of my life. If I can reduce any status, and if you get a uniform logo like we have Buy Australia logo, it will be more effective, in my opinion, than I don't know the other people. If you can start with one council, maybe the other council will take over. When we launch it, get some newspaper, FBS people or something, to see that how this stuff will conference, with the uniform logo, it will give you all the indication. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Kapila, and we'll have a chat with the councillors about this at the next workshop.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay. Okay, councillor. I'll allow it.
I commend Dr. Kapila coming here today to give this presentation on the Quran. And if I may say this, that Dr. Kapila is not only a very experienced doctor as microsurgeon, he has written books that are taught in the university. How I know? My son wrote the book. So without knowing him, I looked at the book, I said, yeah, I know this person. So thanks for putting your knowledge and experience together to bring this up, and I'm sure it will be, you are trying to be a significant contribution to the community. Thanks again.
Can I say one more thing? I think one of the doctors from your Stanford Council was involved in the world's first hand cross of the world in France in Lyon from a dead person. I don't know if you ever heard. It was 1998, 23rd of December. And I was invited there to participate in that operation.
Thank you.
So this is my job to help.
Thanks, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay. So do you have any declaration of pecuniary interest? No? So we have confirmation of the minutes. Ordinary council meeting 5th of July, moved by Councillor Pensavini, seconded by Councillor Hall. All in favour? Unanimous. Then the extraordinary council meeting 8th of July minutes, moved by Councillor Pensavini, seconded by Councillor Dato. In favour, councillors? Yep. Okay, Councillor Chuck. Yep, unanimous. Okay. Acknowledgements. I would like to start off with one acknowledgement, if I can. Yeah, so I actually want to acknowledge recognition of our acting general manager, Brian Barrett. It's actually his potentially his last meeting tonight. Well, that's going to be extraordinary. So, and we have a new general manager, Mr. Michael Memo, who is starting on the 15th. I just want to, expect. I've got a couple of things just from some of the staff about the things that Brian has done in this short period, and I think the councillors here will agree that he's definitely excelled well and above what we asked of yourself, Brian, in this role. So basically, Brian was appointed on the 21st of March, and he's overseen the appointment of our permanent GM, who starts on the 15th of this month. He's done a full review of our council's organisation structure, which, it's the first time in a long time that council's going to have some new apprentices on council, and we're actually, changed things to actually have a lot of more people on the ground delivering services for our community. And, through that process, Brian consulted with the councillors, consulted with the staff, and has done a really, really good job actually maintaining and looking after our council. The management and staff were involved in this restructure process and given an opportunity to give open and honest feedback, which Brian took on board from what I've been told. Staff have been, actually recognised for their achievements, this isn't just from me, Brian. This is from some of the staff telling me things that they're really proud of, the direction of the council and what you've done. Maintaining a stable and continuous council in a well-balanced and workable environment. Amazing transformation of the organisation structure, another one. Change management, better training for staff, preparing staff for change with the verbal and non-verbal communication, which is exceptional. Your listening skills, staff empathy, and your time for all staff members, engagement with management and outdoor staff. You took the time to get to know the staff in a short space of time. Tough but fair dealings with residents. Better planning results, organisation, leading and controlling the council, and reintroducing the service awards for the staff. That's something I said. Considered an approachable general manager, cool, calm and collected in your approach to general issues. From my point, I want to say that basically the work that Brian has done has put us in a much better position. He's had help from the people in this room as well. The key people here today, Peter, Mary, Kathy, Melinda, Candice, and Chris and David are here too. In actually getting through what were some challenging times, but I believe that our council now is being a more open and transparent and accountable council. And the biggest change that I would say is that you've made Stratford back to where it used to be, which is a council that actually consults with our community and asks them what they need instead of telling them what they want. So, look, I'm really been impressed by what you've done in this short time. All the staff that I've spoken to have nothing but good things to say about you, and I really want to thank you for that one. So thank you. Thank you.
Sorry?
He's done more than that, I'm sure.
I'm
He's done a lot more than that.
I'm extremely impressed. Someone must have been taking notes.
We were taking notes.
Councillor Sandy, ready?
I would like to acknowledge Indian Independence Day. This year we are celebrating, all Indians are celebrating 75th anniversary of Indian Independence Day.
71st. 76. 76.
Let's not argue about the dates. Let's acknowledge the. We'll acknowledge the.
So this year their celebrations are undergoing under the name of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. India has given a zero to the world, and India has given the first surgeon, Sushrit, to the world. and he's the first ever known plastic surgeon to the world. And right now, has come up to the second place in space technology after NASA in today's current time. And at the time of independence, India had only 12% literacy rate, whereas now today the current rate in 2021 is 74% education rate. So the literacy rate has gone really up.
Mhm.
And yes, that's it. I would like everybody to come and join the New Year, India's Independence Day celebrations in Consulate General's office and instruct in one we are going to have.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Datta.
Mr. Mayor and Councillor, I would like to acknowledge the celebration of India's 75th Independence Day.
71, I think.
It was 75 last year, 76 this year.
75th. Any year, doesn't, we do not want to argue. 75th.
Thanks, the local historian.
It is being celebrated at Azad Ki Amrit Mahotsav.
Councillor, please. Councillor Datta has the floor.
I think it is being celebrated as India's Azad Ki Mahotsav. And today I think this celebration deserves acknowledgement for many reasons, as Councillor Reddy mentioned, but I will mention two reasons that are universal appeal, in my view. In the 20th century, if we look back in the 1900, starting from 1900 to 1950s or so, many countries around the world got independence from colonialism. But looking back, you will see not many of them are democratic countries anymore. Even Trump's America, which people say the bastion of democratic rule, came very close to failure. In India, you could not think of anything like that could happen. India needs to be celebrated because it is one of the shining examples of democracy in the world. The second reason is India's democratic tradition is not an accident. The most fundamental ingredient in democratic beliefs is its belief in pluralism. The teaching of Indian saints and rishis have taught pluralism for many thousands of years. For example, in India, if you are a believer of Lord Shiva, you are as good a Hindu as anyone. If you are a believer of Lord Vishnu, you are still as good a Hindu as anyone else. And if you are a believer of no God, or even promoting Gnosticism, which is, I do not believe in God, you are still a Hindu, as good as any other Hindu. This is called belief in pluralism. And it is this pluralism taught by Indian tradition that has made India such a solid democratic nation. Give you one example of India's tradition for respect for Hindu women. Indian folklore, there is a folklore saying that all the Indian gods failed to kill a demon called Mahishasura. So all those gods, when they individually failed to kill the demon, they put their strength together to create a new god, the god of gods, and that god was not a god, it was a goddess, called Ma Durga. So the men got together to create a supreme power who was the woman. So that's India's belief in and respect for women for thousands of years. So, and in India is a country which is seen as a mother. So that's where the respect comes from towards the country. So all these values reflect the belief in pluralism, in democratic notions, as well as the belief and respect for women. I think these philosophies can teach a few things to people around the world, and I think this is one of the reasons why we should all be cheering up India's democracy and the 75th anniversary of its democracy. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for giving me the time, and the Councillor for listening to me.
Thank you, Councillor Darcy. Any more acknowledgements, councillors? Yes, Councillor.
Oh, do you want to do yours? Yep.
Okay.
Councillor Maheswaran.
I'd like to take the opportunity to acknowledge the 40th anniversary of Aruna Chandrala's tireless contributions to the community. Aruna, we take it for granted that we live in a community that's based around respect and recognition, and that this is a multicultural and accepting community where there are no real limitations placed on the basis of race, religion and belief. However, having arrived in Australia sometime in the 1980s, I can imagine it's a very different type of Australia, and it takes a very exceptional type of person to tirelessly advocate on behalf of the rights of minorities. And I am very much the beneficiary of that advocacy, being here today. Having Ms. Chandrala in the room is a particular occasion to make that acknowledgement. I'd say that Ms. Chandrala is a Strathfield resident, at least in heart, and her family are certainly residents within the area. And beyond that, I can also say that the Indian High Commission has often gone to Ms. Chandrala to take her advice on matters in Australia, as well as to seek her assistance on matters of great importance, including during the time when there was a tremendous amount of violence towards Indian students, and at times when families in India have required assistance with their unfortunate events that have occurred. I would say 40 years is a rough estimate, but we shall take that as a rough date, since we're also celebrating the 75th anniversary, I think, is the consensus of the Indian independence. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aruna, for everything that you do.
Councillor Finstein.
Yes, I would like to make an acknowledgement. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a sad one. I wish on behalf of the Strathfield Council to acknowledge the 31st anniversary of the tragic shooting in Strathfield on the 17th of August 1991. We wish to extend our deepest sympathies to family and friends of the victims of this heinous crime. Rest in peace to Roberta Armstrong, Robertson Can-Hopwood, Patricia Rowe, Carol Dickinson, Joyce Nixon, Rachel Milburn and George Maybe. The impact of the Strathfield massacre on the local community was devastating. Many local residents were working or shopping at Strathfield Plaza or knew someone that was there. Many people witnessed the murders, hid or fled for their lives on that day, a memory no one touched by this terrible event will ever forget. I wish to recognise Greg Reed's actions, who saved at least 8 people from death or injury. Greg Reed, who is currently the President of the Cumberland RSL, was awarded the Star of Courage in October 1992 for acts of conspicuous courage in circumstances of great peril by the Australia's Governor-General. The Star of Courage is the second highest Australian bravery decoration. Traditionally, Strathfield Council has an annual service outside Strathfield Plaza, and last year, because of the 30th anniversary, we redid the memorial, and it's a beautiful stone memorial with the names of our deceased residents. And again this year, we will be conducting that ceremony. Strathfield Council will be laying a wreath, and it's going to be held at 12 o'clock on August the 17th. To all the family and the friends and members of our community who remember that day, just to let you know that we will never forget it either. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor.
Yes. Thank you,
Thank you,
Doctor.
Okay. Any further acknowledgements, councillors? No. Deferred outstanding matters, waiting report? Nil. Okay. Councillors, I move, in accordance with section 13 of Council's Code of Meeting Practice. That 1, Council alters the order of the business paper in accordance with clause 8.1, and 2, the items listed below be dealt with by exception and that they be adopted as recommended by way of single motion.
I move that.
You second that, Councillor?
I second.
So, we'll go through this, councillors. That's the 10.1, page 29. (10.2), page 35, Developer Contributions Reform. 10.3,
Oh, sorry, can we go
Yep.
back to developer contribution reform?
Yep.
Can you bring that one back?
Take these off, yep, you want to talk about it, yep, no worries. So take off 10.2? No. So 10.3,
It's the computer.
the DCP environmental changes, page 37. Okay. 10.5, councillors?
No,
Temp report. I know you're going to talk about it.
no,
10.5?
take it something.
Take out 10.5.
Okay.
Let's dig into that.
13.1, that's traffic committee, minutes,
Okay. Yes, okay.
minutes of the traffic committee. 14.3, it's page 73, basketball half courts, Councillor Hall. 14.4, page 74, in relation to parking in Stratford LGA. 14.5, page 75, that's community garden report. Okay, we've got 14.6 with an attachment. Sorry.
Just on the 14.5,
Sorry. Yep.
on the community garden,
Yep.
Is that including all the community gardens in the area?
This is just a report about a potential one in Stratford South.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're good.
That's 14.6.
14.6 is, that was the one that was
Oh, that
separate
one.
from the business paper.
You missed the
That's
business
about the
paper.
insurance
Oh, yes, yes,
with Councillor Mahaswaran,
yes, that's fine.
14.6. Okay. So just let me know, councillors, if there's any opposition. CEO 1, page 76, draft community gardens policy. CEO 3, page 91, that's about the draft policy development and review policy. So CEO 3, yep, page 91. Yep. CEO 5, that's page 98, that's about signing the public spaces charter. CEO 6, should be on there. Page 103. Yep. CEO 7, page 107, Stratford Park Cafe. CEO 8, page 108, council tenders advertised and awarded. CEO 9, delegation for general manager, page 109. CS1, investment report June 2022, page 111. CS2, draft child protection policy, page 133. CS3, draft investment policy, page 143. CS4, councillor workshop items, page, just noting, 154.
Take out some.
Take it out.
Yeah, I've got to talk about 5.5.
Okay. Just take out CS5, please. Goes on the list, but take it out. DEU1, ibis birds and pet species, 167 page. We have DEU 2 as well,
Yeah.
which is the late item attachment.
Just a second, what is that?
That's this one, Raj. Councillor Dutta. It's on your table.
What's the name of it, sorry?
Sydney Eastern Planning Panel membership.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The memorandum.
Just a second.
Yeah.
This is updating the members.
No, I can take that off.
No worries. Take that off. David? Mr McQuaid, sorry.
What number was that?
DEU 2.
DU two.
Okay. PPC 1, page 189. Land care 3-day one.
Oh, should have been long since I
Okay. PPC 2, Hudson Park Golf Driving Range, page 191.
Brilliant. Is that it? That's it.
Yeah. Okay. So, councillor, all those in favour? Yeah. Unanimous. Thank you, councillors.
Tree day. Is it too late? Okay.
Okay, so I'll move on to mayoral minutes 10.2, sorry. Mayoral minutes, developer contributions referral, page 35.
Yep.
Okay, so it's as written. So basically, there's a lot of councillors. The previous planning minister of planning, Rob Stokes, introduced a range of reforms to developer contribution systems in New South Wales, which, if adopted, will leave councils financially crippled and communities without essential infrastructure. The Environmental Planning and Assessment Amendment, Infrastructure Contributions, proposes that developers contribute more to the state government and less towards local priorities and projects. The Minister, in putting forward these reforms, suggested that the shortfall of over $5 million, approximately each year in Strathfield, could be compensated by charging our ratepayers higher rates. I am becoming increasingly concerned that the current Minister of Planning, Anthony Roberts MP, is supportive of these reforms, which will clearly direct contributions by developers to state government coffers. The proposed reforms include changes that will limit the range of infrastructure that councils can levy contributions for and exclude collecting for libraries and community facilities. Dictate statewide standards for infrastructure, so a one-size-fits-all, that will not reflect the real cost of constructing infrastructure in an urban area or meet our community's needs. Direct contributions to a state-controlled regional infrastructure fund for which there is no plan and no requirement to spend funds in the area where they were collected. Delay collection of larger contributions until residents move into a new development means new infrastructure cannot be provided to coincide with the population growth. It will impose unrealistically low caps on the contributions paid per dwelling and force councils to burden ratepayers with higher rates to make up for the shortfall that developers should be paying. Councillors, I urge you to support it. I thought this one would have been a no-brainer. You know, they shouldn't be taking money off the community, and our residents shouldn't have to pay for the development that is, in the first place, actually imposed by the state government by setting targets on our council to deliver more properties and more development.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Councillor Data.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I commend you for bringing this, and I will be supporting it.
Thank you, Rose.
Thank you, Councillor Data. Councillor Hall.
Thank you to the Mayor for bringing this mayoral minute. It is a very important mayoral minute, and I'm standing to speak because well over a year ago, my boss, I'm very proud of my boss, the Honourable Mark Latham, MLC, wrote to all of the councils, every single council in New South Wales.
I'm glad you mentioned it in here, and you said it.
Yes, very proud of him.
Good on you.
And because he off his own back, he actually wrote to every single council in New South Wales
and wrote the following criticisms about the legislation. The reforms shift the cost of infrastructure and service provision in growth areas from developers to ratepayers. The question of local government rate reform should be considered separately from infrastructure contributions. Developer contributions should be paid to councils as quickly as possible, certainly at construction certificate stage rather than occupation certificate as proposed. The proposed regional infrastructure contributions lack the benefits of hypothecation so that developers and residents paying them know there is a direct return to the community. There is no evidence that the regional infrastructure contributions developed for the inclusion of affordable housing and biodiversity funding will achieve their stated goals. The planning minister should be required to make these regional infrastructure contributions plans similar to the Section 11 plans required by councils. The new benchmarking of best practice infrastructure provision does not take into account regional cost variations around New South Wales and will lead to a lowest common denominator approach imposed upon councils. And many councils will be worse off financially under the bill, given the fiscal overhang caused by the immediate loss of some developer contribution money, but a slow 20-year build in a raising capacity in growth LGAs. And lastly, the reason why this is flawed, the legislation is flawed, local government servicing capacity should be strengthened by guaranteeing Section 7.12 contributions for state significant developments, a key oversight in the bill. So I commend the Mayor for bringing this to Council, and we should all support it.
Okay, thank you. Any further debate, Councillor?
Yeah,
No? Oh,
do you want
again,
to
sorry.
talk on behalf of the Labor Party?
Yes, everybody up. Come
I
on.
thought we weren't going to be political.
Normally we just have,
Oh, no,
so
you
everyone's
support
for
it.
it, but we
Okay.
can.
Oh, it's only if I support it that I can be political.
No.
Councillor,
I'm joking.
Councillor, do you have something?
We're
No,
joking.
no. As with One Nation, the Labor Party supports your motion as well, Councillor.
Well, Mellahall Independence does.
Thank you, Councillor Piccolini.
I think it's, just to my point of order,
Yeah.
I think it's really good that, that we do have, members of Parliament that do support councils, and that's the purpose of bringing this forward. So there actually is support in the state Parliament, and I'm happy to say that. And it's not just, there are other MPs that also support our cause, and I think that should be brought forward, because one of the things is, this is about a state legislation. It's not a local council issue. It is a state legislation, and I think that if we bring in that there are MPs that support this, I'm Mellahall Independent, I'm not a state member, but I think I do like to promote those that do support local councils. And one of the other issues I think that needs to be brought up is that the cost shifting, I'm talking now, the cost shifting of the state government has always been an issue for local government, and it should be stamped out like this, Mayoral Minute.
Thank you. Anyone opposed to the motion? Debate? No? I'll put it to you, councillors. All those in favour? Unanimous. And then we go to 10.4, Mayoral Minute regarding the Anzac Day Service 2023. Councillor Dado.
All right.
Yes, so Mayoral Minute, I believe Councillor Dado.
10 point.
Mayoral Minute Anzac Day Service.
You haven't said it yet. Are you moved? Have you moved it?
No, I moved it,
I second it.
No, we don't need to second that.
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't know Councillor Data wanted to tell us all. Just quickly, after consultation with the RSL and discussions with some expert locals, some significant changes need to be made to our Anzac service. Strathfield Council's War Memorial is actually located in front of our council chambers on Homebush Road. Previous services have been held at the former Homebush Council's Memorial at David Place in Homebush. It is only fitting that we move our Anzac service to the appropriate War Memorial, in my opinion, and that Council makes changes to enhance the service moving forward. So I'll move it as written. I'll just add on to point 2 if I can. just onto the end of point 2, that this be done in conjunction with Strathfield Historic Society.
Is it historical or
Historical
You said everything I had in my mind.
Society,
That's good.
if they are available to assist. Yes. Look, basically, Councillor, it's just about, you know, we had our service, we had a really good service. I think it was one of the best ones we had this year. You know, but I think the fact that we have our town hall here, having an exhibition, say, in the town hall, having the morning tea in the town hall, and having an exhibition, and, you know, having something a bit better, and something that really, you know, sends a message to the community that we really care about this service, and we want to do something really impressive. Yes, yes, Councillor Data.
Mr. Mayor, I think this is another a good motion. So, coming through, if you would like to accept one small addition to this, you
Yes,
have
Councillor
taken
Data,
half
yes.
of mine.
Yep.
That at this celebration, all councillors can have an opportunity for equitable representation, which probably was not in the last case, but, so, the one point is that all councillors play an equitable role at the celebration.
Yeah, and, yeah. Didn't we? Perfectly.
To present a wreath, or
Oh, that is, everyone is doing, I'm not talking about wreath or anything, just equitable.
to be present, or
That all
to...
councillors participate.
Whatever, if you participate in an equitable way, in planning and everything, yeah.
Because we're not, I don't think, it's not appropriate to end the service for 7 councillors to get up and make a speech and bore the residents to tears. So,
No, that's not, that's the mayor may have a speech, but
Yeah.
I'm saying the councillors.
but this celebration, all councillors have the opportunity to participate.
In what way? In whatever, there could be somebody that needs to read, something,
Okay.
someone that needs to.
Yeah, look, I'm happy to accept it, councillor.
Thank you.
Look,
Just different things.
you know, I think come to the, with the working group, we'll, you know, as you saw, I, very, inclusive mayor, and I invited you all to meet with the RSL, and, thank you to the councillors who, that was their time, Councillor Hall. Yes, anything else, councillors? I'm happy to
Yes,
accept that.
but what was the amendment, please, Councillor
just-
Data?
The amendment was that all councillors
As a
can
celebration,
participate
councillors have
at the
opportunity.
celebration in an equitable way,
Yeah,
which was not the last.
Yes,
yeah, with the approval of the Cumberland
Well,
RSL.
we've got that program there.
That's, I'm not putting that, the approval, I think
Yes.
the Strathfield Council
Councillor,
is
yes.
a council, and we as a work committee, we will negotiate through that.
Yes.
We don't have to.
All right.
Well, you'll be there, councillor. Councillor Hall.
Councillor, I thank you for that amendment, because I was going to put that one, but I've got another one. So one of the things that I really enjoyed only the last couple of years? Because I used to just live up at 130, Homebush Road, and the trumpet was, with the speakers, was blaring, and it was so nice to be woken up by, what's it called, the trumpet?
Last post.
The last
The last post, thank you.
The
So I had
bugle?
blank- yes.
The bugle,
We
yeah?
had so many complaints.
Councillor, anyway.
It was so good.
Councillor Hall, please.
Councillor Hall, we've
Are
had
you
so
making
many
amendments?
complaints,
What are
we
you-
cannot do that.
What are we doing?
Oh.
There's no debate
I
here.
wanted to put on there that that's the amendment that I wanted to put in that
You
we
didn't
consider.
put forward an amendment, Councillor Hall.
Yes, you did.
What was the
That was
amendment?
the amendment, that we add the, last post at dawn service to be echoed through the whole LGA.
I had a lot of people say it was really
Dawn
good.
service.
No.
Remember when we were in COVID and no one could meet, so the general manager at the time thought it would be a good idea at dawn,
It was,
at 6 o'clock in the
So
morning,
good.
to bugle the last post over the LGA at all parks.
That is so patriotic, it's fantastic.
It's okay if you're not a night worker.
Yeah.
It's only once a year.
Or a mother with a baby.
Well, I think, councillor, that's something we can sort of work out, I think.
All right, okay,
Patricia.
all right.
Okay,
Fine.
I'll put, they're just,
My vote
Yeah,
may.
agree.
okay, and put the, mayoral minute, councillors, all those in favour? Unanimous, thank you.
Sorry,
Okay.
there was one word missing there, and the amendment, David, if I can say.
Where?
The previous one, that at the celebration, all councillors have.
Yeah, that's-
It's there,
equitable opportunity.
it's there, it's in the top line. Go to the top line, please, Mr. McQuaid.
Sorry, say, where is the word equitable? I'm looking for the equitable participation.
What's that?
Before opportunity,
To participate.
That happy
Equitable,
celebration, all
equitable.
councillors have
Equitably.
the opportunity.
Councillor,
Yes, he did say equitably, sorry.
Yeah, that word is missing.
Sorry.
Not equitably,
Have the
Yeah, that
opportunity
is-
to equally,
yeah, not equally, equitably.
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 Go, Mr. McQuaid.
Okay, let's moving on, councillors. Mayoral minute 10.5, mayoral minute 17/22, invitation to be Stratford Club patron. Okay, councillors. The Stratford Golf Club, following a board meeting, was resolved that they approach the Mayor of Stratford, that's currently me, to become the patron of Stratford Golf Club. Basically what the resolution was that the Mayor, whoever is in this chair, would be the patron of the club. And obviously, basically they've got, there's a lot of reasons that they've asked for this, and it's part of it's to do, obviously, is with the fact that the Cooks River runs through our property, like our land, and a large chunk of the golf course is actually council land. So, and we're both members of the Cooks River Alliance. So the board has asked for this, for this to be bestowed upon whoever is the Mayor of Stratford, and I'm putting it up, councillors, that we accept this. So, Councillor Hall, I think you want
I
to
just need
talk
to
on
say
that?
something as well. Yeah, as the chair of the not the chair, as a member of the Cooks River Alliance at Council, the president rang me today, and we're actually going to be meeting next week, this Thursday, with the Deputy Chair of Cooks River Council, Shiranga Mahaswaran, to meet with the President to go through the rehabilitation of the river around Stratfield Golf Course. And he was very, very keen in looking after the river and making sure that we don't lose as much water as we do lose every time we have a downpour. And it's going to be a great collaboration between the golf course and Stratfield Council to make this a better place to be. And I'm also doing a wetlands tour this Thursday at Mason Park with the wetlands manager there, and he's trying to make that a type of thing on the Stratfield course as well.
I think you got beaten to the post though, Councillor.
Yeah, I know, I'm a bit late in getting that wetlands tour, but I'm going. At least I'm going. And so, this river is a very important part of our LGA, and it's about time that we all make a move now to get things done with it, because it's been terribly not looked after well enough, and the time is now, and we need some government funding to get it in to make sure this river is viable. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Councillor Hall, did you?
So I have a question: what does a patron mean and do? Because from the reasons for decision is based on the following common values and shared objectives. These are all the shared values and objectives of all the councillors. So, as far as I'm concerned, it should be changed to that the council become the permanent patron and not just the mayor. But to me, it's like, well, we have those objectives, and we wouldn't object to participating in any of those issues when we request a meeting or whatever it is that they request. So I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean.
Look,
But I think as a Cook River thing is a really good idea, and that's a separate issue. But yeah, so I would like to see the word mayor changed to councillors or council.
Well,
You're right,
this
it
is
doesn't matter who's in there.
Yeah, no, but this is their resolution from their board meeting.
And I'm suggesting
So I
that
think
we
we,
change
you
it
know,
to
But
say
I won't accept it,
council.
Councillor.
No,
I won't
I
accept
don't think.
Yep.
The mayor's the representative of the council.
This role and responsibility of a patron is purely honorary and carries no defined legal or constitutional responsibility other than acknowledgement that the patron is nominated as the current mayor of Stratfield. It ceases to be the patron once they are no longer the mayor and departs to the next mayor. It's just something, I think they just want to...
Because the mayor is the head of the council, I spoke to the president today and he explained it to me. They have to invite the head of the council to be a patron. And the mayor is the head of the council and he has been asked to become a patron. That's all it is.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor.
I think there should be some control here, though, that the mayor takes the role responsibly, so that we provide, for example, that the mayor take a leisurely stroll through the Golden Club at least once a year.
No, I am...
Point of order,
I've been... No, Councillor,
You've been invited to a meeting on Thursday?
4th of August, I've got invited to.
That's the same meeting we're going to be doing.
See, the issue is that, you know, Councillor Kay is a member, a golfer, and was an ex-member, but now is too busy, but is a golfer
Look,
that
it's
actually
like-
plays there,
It's
so...
a bit like the mayoral, like you have a mayoral message, that comes from the head of the council, because they're the mayor.
That's what the mayor
Yeah, I
does.
like equality, sorry.
So, it's a structure of local government, council hall.
You guys, everybody can
We
vote
don't
the way
like
they
it,
want.
it's run for the upper house. Anyway, I'm not going to accept
It's
that
brought me
change.
so many votes.
I'll put it forward. All those in favour, councillors? Councillor Data, Councillor Reddy, Councillor Maswara, the Deputy Mayor, Councillor Pensabini, and the Mayor, those against, Councillor Hall and Councillor Chai. Thank you, and I'll continue to take photos and put myself in all the photos.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
moved the traffic.
No, sorry, I've got
something.
mayoral minute 1922.
Sorry, there's another one.
Was one there on our table.
Just a second, Mr.
I
Mayor.
second it.
There's no seconder on a mayoral minute, Councillor Reddy, but thank you. Our town hall will celebrate its 100th anniversary next year, and the building is in need of renovation. It's a heritage building, it's significant, and it's one of our most important
On the
buildings here.
table.
There are sections of the main roofing frame that are showing signs of stress and are slowly collapsing. This in turn is causing water infiltration when it rains. The water infiltration that causes damage to the ceilings and the walls. The metal roof sections of the buildings have reached the extent of their life and are failing due to rust and metal fatigue. The exterior of the building was repainted 3 years ago, but the interior has not been repainted for 10 years plus and is overdue for repainting. The remodelling of the former office downstairs for staff common area is in good condition and requires no work. The timber floor of the main town hall has reached its life and can no longer be sanded and polished. The main entry foyer, which is the one off Homebush Road, has been subject to renovations over the years to provide various services to the community. These renovations are no longer relevant and the foyer should be returned to its original configuration. So the report is just looking at costings for undertaking these works, and it's also looking at potential of federal or state government grants, because obviously it's a very significant building and it's a heritage building. And I was actually, just on a bit of information note, I was actually informed by Kathy Jones the other day about the area downstairs under the stairs, which was actually the original customer service area. Is that correct, Kathy? Yes.
It's bad, I used to go there when I was at school.
Yeah.
Can I add another
Yeah,
one?
the customer service there, the building actually has customer change to them.
Can I add number 5? Oh,
Yeah.
just an amendment, please,
Amendment.
Mr. Mayor.
Right,
Yeah,
thank you,
so number 5, can all the colours and decorations be in conjunction with information from the Historical Society, please?
I think that all,
Colours of what?
I think that
The interior colours and design of the architecture, if there's any changes in the foyer,
just
to be
just,
consulted.
yeah, can I just get, so just through the chair, Mr. Boma, you oversaw the works at our beautiful building there at Halloween, next to the town hall. And what sort of, is that what we do? Heritage property, the council, do we seek heritage experts or?
3 years, we consulted at the time we had an in-house heritage planner,
Oh, right.
and we used her advice and advice of various others to get the colours and the scheme right on the building.
Do we still have that planner?
I don't think so.
Right.
But we can engage someone
We
else.
can
with
consult.
colours, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Consult with the heritage
Yeah, I think that's what we could consult with the heritage.
specialist.
Special.
Yeah. Consult with the heritage
So
specialist.
just change that to, yeah.
No, not from the, do you want to leave the Historical Society or make it a specialist?
No, it's gonna be
I think here. Yes, can I'll just through the
Historical,
gallery.
historical societies actually deal with history.
Yeah.
Right.
not
They
covered.
never claim the historical society is an expert on heritage architecture.
Mhm.
Quite happy to provide historical information if requested, and also we do have a local study area that Cadence's area, heritage actually comes under Cadence's area of building and planning, and I'm sure they would actually liaise with Peter in designing suitable plans. But happy if you want some historical information like that.
Gotcha.
Our area expertise is
Just that I don't want it to go back to yellow and brown.
I don't think you should.
That's my major problem, is the colours that are in there now.
Yeah, so I'm happy
But
to.
fully, from a
Probably just
historical
exclude that
perspective,
information.
very happy to actually see some what's going on. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I'm happy with
Thank
that,
you,
councillor. That can all come into consult with heritage expert. Yes. Okay, councillors, any further debate? Yes,
No
councillor.
debate, I just found out there's a mistake in here. The timber floor of the main town hall has reached its life.
That's
and
all right.
Can no longer
Yeah.
extend it at point.
That's right. They're already on it. That's only the rationale,
Thank you.
councillor Chai. It's fine. Anything further, councillors? No, I'll put it to you. All those in favour? Unanimous. So we'll move on to 14.1, traffic committee inclusion by councillors. Councillor Noah Hall. Do I have a seconder for that motion, councillors?
Yep.
Okay, councillor Reddy.
I move that the traffic committee charter be amended to include the following. Any councillor be permitted to attend the traffic committee by either video link or in person as an observer. That any decision with regard to amending the traffic committee charter being made by the traffic committee and endorsed by the members of the committee be ratified at the next ordinary council meeting. The local traffic committee, if I recall in the beginning of my last term, I'm pretty sure I recall seeing, which is now 5 years ago, I'm pretty sure I recall seeing a charter. I'm pretty positive I recall seeing a charter. I remember Councillor Zakari showing me the charter. I think it needs to be updated, and the local traffic committee is made up of 4 voting members, being 1 councillor, 1 New South Wales police representative, 1 transport for New South Wales representative, and 1 state member delegate. The formation of 4 voting delegates cannot be amended, although all councillors are welcome to attend as observers. All local traffic committee charters must conform with the Roads and Traffic Authority guidelines. However, I am 150% positive that the Roads and Traffic Authority guidelines do not impede observers attending by video link. In fact, you will find that it is quite encouraged within the government sector.
So that was the only issue. Do you have any other discussion, councillor? Yes, councillor Maswara.
Can I just suggest?
Please.
Apologies. Can I suggest an amendment? Simply move this to
You can ask
a workshop this month, so that the councillors can discuss and seek advice on such an equitable way to provide access for the meetings, but in a way that doesn't cause unnecessary disruption to those meetings by people attending remotely. So in short, that'd be deferred to the council workshop.
Yeah, so that's
So delete the.
yeah, that's an alternate
So
motion.
can we, no, it's not, no, so just go, sorry, if you want an amendment, so we don't need an alternate. The members of the committee be ratified, and just add number 3. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Any,
So we can't, that's a different motion. We can't actually, by putting those things in there saying, like, we're
okay,
actually
let me
making that
amend it,
decision.
let me amend
Can I just make a point? Like, I've looked up the RTA guidelines, and it's just about, I'll just make a point about the meeting formats, and it's probably, the electronic meeting, the advice, because it is just a procedural committee, most common format for local traffic committee meetings is a monthly face-to-face meeting held in the offices of the council. The meeting is to be convened by a council representative. The convener may be the council's voting member or may be an additional non-voting member, which we have our staff member who does there. While there is no need for a specific quorum to allow a local traffic meeting to proceed, it must be remembered that any advice can only be returned to the elected council by the local traffic committee if the views of the RTA or RMS and the New South Wales Police have been obtained. Acceptable alternate meeting formats include, and this is part 5.3.1 of the meeting formats of the Guide to the Delegation to Councils for the Regulation of Traffic. Electronic meetings where the advice of the members is sought via facilime or fax or email. This allows items to be considered as they arise and may reduce response time. So that's basically that note.
doesn't say anything about the,
It doesn't, yeah.
that's right.
And then it actually says as well that we need to seek the, any changes to the meeting format must be agreed to by the formal members of the local traffic committee when proposing to discuss a format change. Reasonably advance notice must be provided. Should council wish to adopt these or any other alternate format, then they should seek the advice of RMS or RTA prior to making a final decision. So, my point being, like, I don't think we are, we can make a recommendation. I don't think we should. We can make a recommendation that we do something to the committee, but then I think the appropriate, from my understanding, the appropriate thing is that the traffic committee actually then has to approve it and seek advice from the RTA or RMS.
Well, that's funny because, point of order, with regard to what you just read,
yeah.
Did you mention the name mayor as a council representative? Because it didn't say council, it didn't say mayor, it said council representative.
Yeah.
And the only reason it's the mayor is because it's in the charter. It's in our charter that council passed.
Well, the reason
So
that
then,
chairperson of this council is the mayor is because we voted for the committee position, and
exactly,
that person was the mayor.
my point exactly.
And voted for
So
it.
that's what so then we had cut, then that's why I'm saying that it's the charter and it's the council that has to make that makes some of these decisions. The only decisions that the traffic members make are the ones that's in accordance with the traffic authority guidelines or the RMS guidelines. If we go outside of those guidelines, then we need to seek permission from the full committee. But anything that is within the RMS guidelines and that the council has to decide, then it goes to council. So
the issue here, Councillor Hall, if I can say, any councillor is permitted to attend the traffic committee. Any councillor can attend the traffic committee. The only thing that isn't available is the video link.
Well, it wasn't available, and for some reason it's been taken off.
COVID rules changed, and we made that call.
Makes no difference.
Okay. Any decision with regard to amending the traffic committee charter will be made by the traffic committee and endorsed by the traffic committee and ratified at the next ordinary council meeting. Everything that goes to the traffic committee comes to the ordinary council meeting after following that and gets ratified. So I would say, like Councillor Maheswaran's motion, if he wants to move it to the workshop, it would be an alternate motion.
I have been trying to, I've been trying to from the very beginning, but you sort of overtook me. So from the time that Councillor made the change, what I was going to suggest that the mayor spoke over was that the traffic committee charter. I'm happy to say that at the council workshop, that council discussed at a council workshop the traffic committee charter. So
Ms. McFly, changing point
The first sentence.
The 4.1, the first sentence.
So it's not the
the
first.
top, yeah?
Yeah, the top sentence.
Yeah. That at the council workshop.
That at a council, so the very beginning, sorry to do this to you. So at the next council workshop, council discuss the traffic committee charter? Stop.
Including.
Yeah, including
Including
The
the
following.
following.
Yeah. Is that what you're trying to achieve, Councillor Mahaswari?
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, Councillor Hall? Yes. Councillor Reddy?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, any further debate, councillors? No, I'll put the motion, all those in favour? Unanimous.
That was quick. You should have done that from the beginning.
Okay, 14.2, page 72, Indian Independence Day, moved by Councillor Pentabini, seconded by Councillor Raj Datta.
Yes, so back to the Independence Day and,
The 75th?
at the 75th year of Independence Day for India. We have a very large Indian community represented by Mrs. Chandler. We very much love having you here tonight. So my motion is to raise the flag on Independence Day on the 15th of August and have it fly in the council chambers from the 11th to the 18th of August, celebrating Indian Independence Day. We'll also put up the lights at the back of the town hall in the Indian colours, and if everyone's happy with that, that can all go ahead on the day. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Can I say something on that?
Yeah.
Like all the other Parramatta Council and Cumberland Council, they usually invite community members as well, on
To the raising of the flag.
the raising, and then they usually have like a little bit of refreshment to welcome the community. I think that would be good from Strathfield Council as well.
Okay.
Because last year it was going to be done that way, but because of due to COVID
COVID.
restrictions,
Mm.
we couldn't do that. We only did council only did the flag line.
Okay.
All right,
Thanks,
so
Aruna.
we need to put it at point 3. Thanks, David.
Oh.
Mr. McCray, do we need a point 3? That community members will be invited and light refreshment. To be provided, yes. Thank you.
Are you happy with that amendment, Councillor Datta? Yeah. Yes. Is there anything further, Councillor? Yes, Councillor Reddy, yes.
If allowed, I would like to make an amendment. Instead of council chambers, could it be any other location in Strathfield
Is
LGA?
that for the lights or is that for the?
Not for the lights, just for the flags. Lights could be here because we have already facilities. But, maybe in Strathfield Park, we have I've got a list of poles we have in our LGA. We have a lot of empty poles which we can use, not the anxiety ones, but the empty ones, because there is a reason why we put up 2 flags in front of our council. Australian flag and Aboriginal flag. It means something. You don't simply take it off whenever we want and whenever we keep. Because I'm a minority in this country as well. So I have to respect the other minorities as well. And at the same time, I would be really happy to be part of the Indian Independence Day celebration as long as the flag is located.
So your
I don't
amendment
want
would
them
be
to take
that
down
the Indian flag be raised in
at a
Stratford
proper
Park
location,
or just?
preferably Stratford Park, because all the community can come there and gather there, and they can have like an Anzac, not like an Anzac Day celebration, but maybe a smaller one with refreshments and stuff. Because we do have a flagpole in Stratford Park, which is sitting just there.
There are 3 flagpoles at Strathfield Park and not only 2, because if you've got 2, which one are you going to take down, Councillor Pentabini?
We're taking down the Aboriginal flag as it was done last year.
Yeah.
Repeating it doesn't make it right, but it's just,
Doesn't make it wrong either.
Stratford Park, it does,
Councillor, please.
it does-
Councillor Reddy, you've got the floor, please.
it does show disrespect that you're putting down whenever we want the Aboriginal flag. So I would prefer having an Indian flag, the ceremony, everything perfect, but
Yes.
any other pole rather than not
So do
putting
you-
some other flag.
Yeah,
down.
sorry. Do you accept that,
No.
Councillor, you don't accept the
No.
amendment?
I'll shadow them. You
Yeah.
shadow.
So seconder,
So
Karen.
so I'll
You're
second
second.
it for,
for shadow?
It's just an amendment, so
Yeah.
vote on first.
first.
Okay, so the Strathfield Council gets voted on first,
No, the amendment, yes.
Yes,
and if that gets approved, then the foreshadowers.
yes, the amendment is that the flag raising be at
Strathfield Park, and they'd like to be on the chamber,
Yeah.
and community members invited to Strathfield Park.
It's not a foreshadow,
No,
It's amendment motion,
it's
yeah?
an amendment.
it's an amendment, yeah.
Yep.
Because whatever is the perfect one.
Okay, so we'll do
The
debate
amendment is
amendment.
Strathfield, yeah, that Strathfield Council be to leave
David?
Strathfield Park out.
Sorry.
Instead of Strathfield Park, you put it an appropriate place in the local LGA, because I don't want to limit ourselves to one particular spot.
Okay. So is there any debate on this amendment? Councillors?
The one at Strathfield Council.
Yes, Councillor Dutta?
Mr. Mayor, I think I commend the Deputy Mayor for bringing this motion. I think it is only fitting, particularly from the geopolitical perspective and the relationship that India and Australia and other countries are growing, is fitting that we as a council and everyone else in the country should do their bit to maximize the benefits that can come from this relationship. And I think it is only fitting that we show some respect and for this flag, and the council, for council to show the respect, this building and this flagpole is the right place for that. But in addition to that, I understand what Councillor Reddy is saying. If she wants to put it, in addition to that, if there are other locations where we could raise the flag and do it more comprehensive, bring more people in, I'm all for it. But I think for the council, this is the right place to do it. And I'll be supporting this motion because in the current situation, it is very important that we all.
You'll be supporting the
we're talking about original motion.
We're talking about the amendment.
No, I'm just talking about the motion, talking on the
The
motion.
original motion.
Yeah, we're talking about the amendment. So you're saying you're against this,
Yeah.
Against it. I just didn't say against it. What I said was that if Councillor Reddy wants to have a flag hosting or raising in other places, in addition to the original motion, then I am all for it. That's what I was saying.
You're happy to put down the Aboriginal flag, that's all it is, yes.
I think it is not about putting down somebody. It's about, it's not negative. It's about showing the respect in the
Councillor Dutta has the floor, please.
So, and I think that's a valid point, and I want to, for record, I want to say this again, that it happens in many other occasions when you hoist a particular flag to respect a particular event at a particular time. It happens all across the state. It's a common norm. So it is not about disrespect. It's about showing respect to a particular event, to a particular occasion. And it is not the only event that is going to be happening in Strathfield. It happens everywhere. It's a common practice. So I'll be supporting the original motion. But if Councillor Reddy accepts my proposal, I'll be supporting any other flag hoisting thing around the council. I have no problem with that. Thank you.
I think that's right. Okay.
Any further discussion, councillors? Councillor Mahaswaran, yes?
Just to make my position clear, I really don't like discussing flags, and I really don't like raising flags in general as a point of council discussion. But overall, there's only one flag that ought to be flown in civic buildings and on Australia, and that's the Australian flag. And it's a requirement of state and federal law that we fly also the Aboriginal flag, and so therefore we do it. But I do think that if there is an Indian independence celebration or an event, then it may be appropriate to do a symbolic flag raising to mirror what might be happening in India at that time. But I just overall note that I don't see this as a fruitful discussion or a useful part of council business.
Further councillors?
Well, yeah, I might as well speak.
Yeah, I think Councillor Hall.
I might as well speak. Look, I do concur with actually what Councillor Reid said, with perspective, of course, yourself being of Indian origin, but I also agree with, Councillor Haswari. I'm gonna remember that someday.
Councillor Hall, please.
No, I'm serious. Can you put it up so I can actually read it? Mahaswaran, that's the one. So, and he gave a really good speech. He did give a really good speech.
Yep.
No, I do agree, but,
Very
I think it's very upsetting as a European that I am, that I have, that.
I thought you were Australian.
I was born overseas,
Can
so what I
just hear
think
from
is,
Councillor Hall?
this
She has
is,
the floor.
I
please.
have to agree that it's not that it shouldn't be here, but I'm very happy to support Councillor Reid's motion.
Look, this is actually one of Councillor Mahaswaran's spoken about the requirement to fly both those flags at the civic buildings, and I think, by having it listed just as an appropriate place, it means we can get the correct advice of where is the appropriate place to hoist it. We've had the pride lights on the council, so, we can have the change of different colour lights every month, I guess. We'll get a whole collection of the different lights. But I think, it is important that we get the appropriate advice. I don't want to be doing anything disrespectful to our traditional custodians, or obviously to the Australian flag and those people. So I will be supporting this one, and who knows, the appropriate place may end up being in front of the town hall. So I'll put the amendment to a vote, councillors.
Which one?
The
The amendment, appropriate place. I'll put that to a vote. All those in favour?
Just a second, confusion. Should we be putting the motion
first one
first?
goes
Amendment.
No, amendments got to go first.
Can I just close my, oh no, I can't. Well, I want to close on my first. Because I just think if we're going to have light refreshments, it's going to cost more money if we're not using the town hall supper room. So we're going to have to set up in the Stratford Park, if it's a different area, to put up the flag, if we're going to invite residents. So what we need to do is to have it at an appropriate place where we can set up a morning tea. And I think that is, an appropriate place is outside chambers, and I don't know why there would be an amendment. So really, this is ridiculous. It should be outside council chambers and refreshments in the town hall.
Ben, what do you reckon?
Councillor Shaw, I'll let you talk. Look,
Thank you.
let's follow the,
For this one, can we just
format.
change the appropriate place, you guys, the Stratford Park, just put a ceremony in the Stratford Park, that's it.
No, Councillor Hall, do you accept that? Councillor Reddy? No?
Whatever you think. Stratford Park. Stratford Park.
Look, I think if it's the appropriate place, we can get advice from the staff, and
No, you can't talk around.
sorry, Renee, you're not on council.
You should be.
I think Stratford Park is a really good place.
Why? No one sees it in Stratford Park.
Because there's three,
Is there any
There
legal
have been many instances where.
Then, can we run orderly meeting?
questions through the mayor? Questions through the mayor?
Councillor Mahaswaran, what would you like?
Yes, Councillor Pennsylvania, question.
Questions through the mayor, through the
This is
chair.
the hottest debate.
I know, and
You
we're
can,
going to finish
please.
by 8 o'clock. Questions, is it a new legal, move to take down the Aboriginal flag?
Through the chair, the flag protocol in this country requires precedence to always be given to the Australian flag.
Yep.
And if the Australian flag is raised, it must be raised in light. So it has to be raised at dawn and brought down at dusk, unless it's lit. And we have 3 places where the flag poles are lit. Where there are 2 flags involved, whether it be a New South Wales flag or an Aboriginal flag, you cannot bring down the Australian flag in preference to bringing down the alternate flag. But you can take the alternate flag down. The New South Wales State Government took the state flag off the Harbour Bridge in order to put the Aboriginal flag, but it can't bring the Australian flag down. So the only thing is the Australian flag has to stay up.
That's not in argument.
Yes,
If you bring the alternate flag down for one day celebration, that's quite a common practice.
That's a common
Thank
practice. It's a common
Thank you very
It
much.
doesn't everywhere.
Wasn't suggesting alcohol.
No.
And it should be in an appropriate place in Stratford where residents can see it.
There is no more appropriate.
No more
Councillors,
appropriate place.
are we putting the amendment, councillors?
Yes, we are.
Okay, all those in favour, councillors, to the amendment, appropriate place, raise your hand.
Yeah, this is the amendment.
This is
Okay.
for-
Amendment.
It's not,
This is for,
We're
to
gonna
raise
leave
in
it-
appropriate
we're gonna leave it
place
appropriate.
in the local
Oh,
government
yeah,
area.
that's right, you guys are voting completely against everything. I get it.
Sorry, councillors, can I get a show of hands? We're
There
voting on
was
the.
three, Matthew.
It's very,
No, Ben didn't vote
They
for
didn't
it.
No,
vote for it.
He didn't vote
no,
for it.
Ben's not gonna vote for it, so it's just me and Sam.
okay, can I just get a show of hands so I can get it recorded?
We're gonna get one of them.
Well, if they have to put it up, it's.
Then why did you make the amendment?
Councillors, can I get a show of hands, all in favour of the amendment to find an appropriate place? Councillor Reddy, Councillor Blackmore, Councillor Hall. Against? Councillor Data, Councillor Mahaswaran, Councillor Chai, Councillor Pensavini. So we'll move back to the original motion. That the Indian flag be raised in front of Stratford Council. Okay, and can you just raise that up again, David, so I can actually read it? Yeah, so, we have debate on this, councillors.
No debate.
No debate, so that the Indian flag be raised in front of Stratford Council from 11th of August. Motion, all those in favour? Councillor Reddy, Councillor Daka.
Nella, you cannot do that.
Councillors,
Nella.
Oh, so you do want it? Oh, okay, sorry, I thought you
I
said.
thought you
Oh,
said Stratford
sorry,
Park.
you told me before
said
you
Stratford
didn't.
Park.
Yeah, he changed his
Sorry,
mind.
Councillor, raise show of hands. Councillor Data, Councillor Maswaran, Councillor Chai, Deputy Mayor Pensabini, and the Mayor. And against? Against,
If you
councillors?
don't vote, you're against it.
What?
Are you, that's, we just voted, and, are you against the motion?
Which one? This one? I'll vote for it, because anyway it's not going through.
Councillor,
Tomorrow
can we pay
somebody
attention,
will-
councillors?
No,
Like,
it's not.
you know, we meet once a month, seriously. Like, it's,
Yeah,
so,
somebody's going to do something.
Done.
Councillor Reddy wants to be recorded as voting for the motion.
Oh,
Okay.
So
So
that's what I'm saying, there's
unanimous.
confusion as to what's,
It's unanimous.
yeah. So unanimous and Councillor Hall is out of the room.
Ready is for the motion.
Okay. We'll move on to CEO2, Draft Small Grants Policy, page 84.
Did you say against or?
No, you left the room.
You left the room, come on.
I thought you were gonna have a big debate.
Is that why you are?
Councillor,
I'll go
seriously.
now.
Not working.
Page 84, Draft Small Grants Policy. If I can get on the screen, please. I have a mover for this, councillors. Moved by Councillor Pensabini, seconded by Councillor Blackmore. I have a small amendment to this. If we just add the point that that the grants have a limit of $2,500 per organisation. Yeah, per year, yeah. I don't know, really.
Alright, whatever.
No, do you get one? You don't get one? No. Okay, you're happy with that, Councillor Pensabini?
Yep.
Yep, okay, any debate, councillors? No, I'll put the recommendation.
Just one question, that's a question.
Yes, keep up, councillors.
Quick meetings are good meetings.
Now, I will just through the chair with the question. The question is just a clarification, not question, that in Homebush West, the Chamber of Commerce, Flemington Chamber of Commerce organizes an event. And I think it is, from memory, I think for now 4 or 5 years, it is being organized by the council. So that grant is not going to impact.
This is a different grant.
This is a
This
different.
is a small grant,
Thank you. That's all.
$20,000
I just wanted to
budgeted
clarify.
to the councillors.
An example, this is an example of the grant,
Yeah.
councillor Dada. If someone comes into us and says they need something urgently and it's only a matter of $2,000, we don't have to go through the full grant program every time we need to do it, we just pass it through the council at the next meeting.
Excellent. That question was put to me
Thank
by a
you.
number of people. I once said I
Thank
will
you,
clarify
councillor
that.
Data.
Not going to
Thank
change
you.
anything.
So we'll put it to a vote. The money's already in the budget. We're just setting some guidelines, and it's a really good policy. So all those in favour, councillors?
And Schrager,
Unanimous.
Left the room.
he's in favour.
We'll move on
Doesn't matter,
to
doesn't matter.
CEO 4, page 96, events calendar,
There's one here.
financial year.
Which one are you doing, sorry?
Page 96, councillor.
Let's see it.
You don't have to tell me.
Moved by
Councillor Pansavini,
Pensavini. Do I have a seconder, councillors? Councillor Hall.
can I move an amendment, please, councillor?
Um,
Mr Mayor.
You may.
Can I move, Mr Mayor, that this gets taken to a workshop so we can discuss it further in regard to what we will and what we won't put into our event
So
calendar?
this item be discussed.
Yeah, so the recommendation, can we just put the amendment in that this item be discussed at an appropriate councillor workshop
And brought back to council.
and report back to
To the next
council,
council meeting.
to the next council meeting?
Yeah.
But delete the council endorses.
Yeah. And to delete that council endorses the event calendar.
Okay.
Thank
Are you
you.
happy with that, councillor Hall?
Thank you, Mr McQuaid.
Yep. Okay. No worries. Councillor Mark we're just up to the CEO 4 event calendar, and we've just made a recommendation that this item be discussed in an appropriate council workshop and reported back to the next council meeting. Been accepted by the mover and the seconder. So any further debate, councillors? No. I'll put the motion. All those in favour?
Workshop,
CEO 4.
to go to the event calendar.
Can I have something to say?
Yeah. Can we,
Yeah,
can we
keep up, councillors.
Mr. Mayor, I read through the, the CEO 4.
Yep.
I found out the Lunar New Year, council is supporting, the Flemington Chamber of Commerce. I can find out, the approved budget amount is only 5,000. This amount majority is used for the, maybe the stage and insurance. And Flemington Chamber of Commerce, I think, have to collect money, the rest of the money from the.
Yeah, if I can just make a point, councillor Shai, we're moving it to a council workshop, so we can discuss at the workshop. Okay? So no further debate, councillors, I'll put the recommendation, all those in favour, unanimous. Okay.
C5. CS5. I move the,
Yeah, so CS5, current set of council resolutions, page 157. Moved by councillor Hall, seconded by councillor Pensavini.
yeah, I'm just going through the resolutions, and I can't see where the resolution that I put up about flagpoles and flags.
It is there twice, councillor.
Twice.
Yep.
Where?
Yeah, I saw that and I thought, why is that there?
Where's it up to then? 1st of February, flag banner.
So there's two there, first is there, page 165, page 164 as well. Poles furnished at depot, report presented to March 2022 council meeting. Can I just get some
Where's
comments
an update on
on that through the chair, Mr. Bowman?
Through the chair, the report did come back to council. I can't recall what the outcome was, but we've since prepared a report on all flagpoles and banner poles in the LGA. I think it's probably should go back to workshop, because we're not quite sure how many, are we after flags for specific buildings, or we look towards banners
But just,
for
yeah,
promoting or promoting items in
the event,
Yeah,
yeah,
if I can-
event banners.
Yeah, is the flag to promote, events?
Yes,
I believe that was,
and
and
it's
I
actually
think-
banners.
Yeah, the thing was, my understanding was when it was discussed at the workshop, that, what was discussed, that there was a number of, there wasn't an agreement on the number of poles in which location. So, yeah, okay, so we'll get that back to another workshop.
So through this, we actually have done an audit.
Yep.
And we've got a complete list of all flag poles and possible locations now. We are very short of banner poles, because they're a different setup. Flag poles have got a rope and a pulley, whereas the
Yeah.
banner poles have a hook and a lanyard to hook it on.
Yeah.
So if we went back to workshop and we get some feedback on
How many are
where we
where?
want and the numbers,
Yep.
then we can get on to getting.
Okay.
That'll be great.
Fantastic.
That'll be great. Thank you, Mr. Verma.
No, any other, questions or comments or debate, councillors?
No.
No, I'll put the recommendation. All those in favour? Councillor Mark, yep, unanimous. Okay. Done. That's done. DU2 was done, in the bulk.
Yeah, we did that in the bulk.
I added it to the bulk. Yep.
Just, a note on the tree day and the golf range. Through the chair to the general manager, can I just, congratulate council and council staff on the absolutely wonderful tree day that we had on Sunday. It was just amazing to see how many people came and planted trees and shrubs. It was reported on as being the best day they've had for a very long time, and from social media, just the actual welcoming and planting trees is just wonderful in this area. And also our golfing range, our golf range, what's it called?
Driving range.
Driving range.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just going gangbusters. I'm getting reports back every day about how wonderful it is and why didn't we do a two-story? I went, yep, let's do it. Where's the money?
This is the indulgence section of the,
And congratulations to everyone involved. It just turned out wonderfully, and it's
Thank-
state of the art, and we're very, very
Thank you,
thankful.
Madam Deputy Mayor. So number 10, matters of urgency.
Oh, that
Neil,
was
No, hang on a minute, we've got the, no,
Which
go
one?
back.
We've done
Done
the
the
DU2.
D2. It was in
No.
the bulk.
No, it wasn't.
It
No,
was.
I'm talking about the,
Oh, actually, sorry. My apologies,
No.
Councillor Hall.
Oh.
It did get removed.
councillor
by Councillor Hall.
Sarangton's one was in there.
Yeah,
I've got
my apologies,
Councillor
yeah.
Sarangton's
I
one,
had recommended
got
for it to go in there.
Councillor the Merrill Minute renovation.
No, you're right, Councillor. I had recommended for it to go in there. I had it on here, but I didn't mark it that you pulled it out. So DEU2, I'll move it. And
I'll second.
seconded by Councillor Pensabini. Any debate, councillors?
Yeah,
Yes, Councillor Hall.
I just have an amendment. And I think, with all due respect, Mr. Acting General Manager, I just think that it should be that the new General Manager, you've only got, he's here in a week.
2 weeks.
The 15th, oh yes, it's the 15th.
2 weeks.
So, my recommendation is that the new General Manager.
I don't accept that amendment, councillor. Do you accept it?
Through the chair.
Yes.
All this attempts to do is to eliminate the existing members, some of whom are no longer working with the organisation, and it's questionable whether or not they should have been on the panel in any case. The new general manager will be bringing the new members.
Yes, sir.
That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
already there. That's already
So
there.
we've got to take these off.
Gotta take those off.
That's already there.
Sorry, then we need to remove the word renew. I'm very happy that the acting general manager takes initiative
Or you could add, and the
to
new
renew-
general manager renew,
Yes,
and the new general manager
yes,
renew.
that's all I'm trying to, yeah. No,
Look, that's going to happen anyway.
Yeah, no, that's.
Yeah, but that's not what the motion
I'm happy to
says.
have it in there.
Yeah.
That's not what the motion says.
Okay. Yes.
No worries, I'll accept that, councillor Pennsylvania.
Yep.
No worries, any further debate, councillors? Right, further recommendation, and unanimous. Okay, matters of urgency, Neil, you said. Okay, and we're going to move into closed session, some mayoral minutes. So if I can just get the recording off, and if members of the gallery, thank you for attending, but I would ask you to So please leave the chamber while we